Claudia with Crazy Island Studios. I am working in my Delusions journal today, just playing around. If you like my Delusions journal cover, you can see how I decorated it on another video on here. I'll try to remember to put a link in. I always forget, but it should be the video just prior to this one, so it'll be easy to find. It's cold in my studio today, so I'm wearing my fancy new gloves that my wonderful teenage daughter made for me, my 14-year-old. She made them for me for Christmas so that my hands would stay warm, but my fingers would still be loose to work with while I was in my studio when it was cold. So I just got this journal and I'm just starting it. It is technically New Year's Eve right now, so I bought it for 2015. And I plan on working in it this year. So far I've just cleaned some stuff off on the first page, and I've started a girl and I'm gonna finish her today. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna speed through the rest of this video because I am just playing around today, nothing fancy, no special plans for any new techniques or anything. Just going to hang out in my studio and do an art journal page for New Year's Eve. Alrighty, here we go. Hey y'all, I thought I'd just jump in here and talk to you in today time, because this video was recorded like 3 months ago. That's how far behind I am. I can't believe it. I've got at least 5 videos that I need to finish editing for you guys and get them out before I can put out any of the new stuff. And I have new stuff that I want to do and make and show you guys and do with you. I have a whole new journal series that I want to start here, and I can't do it until I get these videos edited. So hopefully you should be able to expect a few videos coming from me in rapid succession over the next week or two. I just wanted to say hi. I feel so bad that this video is so old. I'm going to leave the speaking parts in here where you're going to see me, wish you a happy New Year's and all of that great stuff. But it's there. It is what it is. I still wanted to show you the page. I'm really happy with it. I've never shown it to you guys yet, so I definitely wanted to go ahead and still throw out this video. Some of you are going to ask right here what I am going to be using. I do activate, these are my Neocolor 2 water-soluble crayons. I activate them with water to start with, and then you're going to see me squirt gesso over them and then blend that in. And I love doing that because they are water soluble, and adding the gesso when it dries, it's then non-reactive, so it won't react whenever you add wet media on top, and it won't move around anymore. So that's kind of cool. Also, my black spray that I use here is a homemade spray that I make out of acrylic paint and either water or airbrush medium. I use this one again because the Delusions are always reactive to anything wet on top. So whenever you try and put things like this tissue down with matte medium, it'll smear and go all over the place. So I do like to use my handmade spray especially for the black. Depending on what I'm doing, that's what I'll do. So, okay, I'll chat with you guys in a little bit. Happy New Year's, folks. I didn't make it finish my page for New Year's Eve because I ended up having to leave and run around and do a bunch of stuff and then hang out with my family for New Year's Eve. So I did, however, get some stamps made while I was sitting watching movies with everybody. So I think I'm going to use some of these on my page. So let's get started. I'm going to speed through the rest of this as well. But yeah, let's play. Okay, folks, I know this is probably complete weirdness to you, having me come back and forth with what I was saying back in January and talking to you now, but I don't know. I felt like I wanted to talk to you through this video, so that's what I'm doing. As you can see, I used one of my handmade stamps and some teal paint to add those little swirls. I also added some marks with the teal paint using corrugated cardboard. I always have a little piece of that on hand, and here I'm just using some Tim Holtz rub-ons. I love these rub-ons. They rub on I don't know, so good. It's just super easy to get them off, and the whole thing comes off and it's not a battle, and I just can't say enough good things about rub-ons that work, right? Rub-ons can be such a pain. I'm using my Neocolor 2 crayons here again to color her hair. This is my mixed media reference book, which we do have a course if you're interested in making one, and I refer back to it often when I'm creating, just to let me know what I might want to use. And here I was selecting what I wanted to use to activate my Neocolor 2s, which in this case I chose to use airbrush medium. The benefit to using a medium like airbrush medium or a fluid matte medium or something like that is that you create an impermeable surface, whereas with Neocolor 2s in general, oh, here I'm just making myself some notes that I keep in the front of my reference book, things that I need to pick up or things that I want to do or whatnot. I just stick notes up there. And here I'm using Lumieres to fill in the eye color that I'd already done with a little bit of the Neocolor 2s. But as I was saying, using a fluid matte medium or airbrush medium or something like that to activate your water-soluble crayons makes them impermeable so that you can use wet media on top and they won't move around or have any kind of problems like that. So just adding a little bit of highlights here to the eyes and the lips with some white paint, and then I'm going to go back in more notes apparently. Go back in with a little bit of black over the pupil because it wasn't quite dark enough. I have no idea what the deal was with my camera placement that's got my head all in the frame. That never happens. I can go through entire classes and not have any of that happen. So annoying. What you saw me doing there again was checking my reference book for the color that I wanted to add to the hair. So again, a little more of the airbrush medium. I will tell you though, and I did find as I tried to add a few white streaks, using the airbrush medium makes it so impermeable that the paint kind of wants to bead up. So that's something you have to think about. A matte fluid medium would have been better if I wanted to do something on top because it doesn't give it that same sheen. So I will fix that later with some portfolio oil pastels, which will ride over that. I'm just adding a little bit of shading here. I have no idea what color that is or what paint that is. Apologize for that. But yeah, just adding a few more touches of shading to the girl's face. And I think that might be a burnt umber in the high flow acrylics that I'm using there. Again, not 100% sure. It's been a few months since I made this page. So just like I said, adding a few little details to the shading on her face, and then I'm going to go into the background again with some more of these rub-ons, and you'll notice as I work around the girl a little bit with the butterflies that are coming up, I use the pointed end of my bone folder. That really helps me get into the small little bits without having to cut out each little piece of the rub-ons that I want to put on. That way I could just use the whole sheet and stick it on there and just get that one item that I want to get. So that's really helpful and a lot easier to do than the popsicle stick that comes with them. But I wouldn't recommend it unless you know that the rub-ons work really well, like the Tim Holtz ones do. Otherwise you might get little bits of other things or you might not get the full image. And here I am just using another one of my handmade stamps that I made on New Year's to add some arrows, and I'm going to come in with another one just to make some marks all over the place. I like to hand load them like this with my finger. It keeps, you can spread paint out and then stamp into the paint like you would a stamp pad, and that works too, but I feel like I waste some paint depending on which stamp I'm using, so I decided to just go ahead and do it with my hand. And excuse me, next I am going to add those little white highlights that I wanted on her hair with a portfolio water-soluble oil pastel that has no problem going over top of that airbrush medium whatsoever. But it is water soluble, so I will have to spray that with a fixative if I want it not to move later. Here I'm just adding a little bit of white paint with a brayer to push all of that craziness that I put on the page kind of into the background, which is a favorite thing for me to do, especially since I got this little tiny brayer that fits so nicely on my journal pages. I like it a lot. My last brayer was huge, so it's nice to have the little one. And next, what am I going to do? I can't remember. Oh yeah, a few white lines with some more corrugated cardboard because, you just can't have too much crazy grunginess going on your journal page. Somehow I managed to skip starting my letters, but as you can see, what I'm doing here is a technique where you just write out the word in general, you know, thin regular lines, and then go back over it and create the skinny and fat and whatever shapes that you want to add to your letters after you just write it regularly. Just make sure you leave a little bit of space between the letters so that you have room to add the thick parts that you want to add. And then I'm really just trying to outline all of it with a white gel pen, and my gel pens were giving me fits this day. I don't know why, but I think I switched like 3 or 4 times trying to get the right gel pen. I get a piece of paper out and I try and, you write on a piece of paper and get it going again, because the flow, it was just not flowing. I don't know what the issue was with my gel pens this day. But that's pretty much it for this page. The only other thing that I am going to do is go around the edges of the page with a little bit of Distress ink to just give it a little bit of a border and grunge up the edges, because that's my favorite. That's my favorite. So that's pretty much it for this page, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this back over to my January self to talk to you for the rest of this. See y'all later. Okay folks, there you have it, all done. My first journal page for 2015, yay! So excited. Okay, and my first journal page in my New Illusions journal, which I love, by the way, although it does take a little getting used to. I did prop up this side with another journal that I tucked under here to give it some stability, but other than that, I'm good. I'm liking it, and I can't wait to like use it up and really break it in, because it is still stiff and brand new, and it's gonna get fat and fabulous, and I can't wait. So, okay, so first journal page 2015, loving it. Hope you guys had fun watching it, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.